No disrespect to India or South Africa, I'm a big fan of KL Rahul myself, but all eyes, at least all eyes in the cricket world, are going to be on Australia and England and the Ashes series, assuming they don't just speed run through it all. The Test series undoubtedly brings much delight to the Barmy Army as well as the Aussies, but it actually brings new eyes to the sport beyond the borders of those two countries. When I interviewed Peter Della Penna a while back, we discussed how each of us got into the sport. For him, it was the legendary 2005 Ashes series. For me, I just happened to be in Europe summer 2009, and trust me when I say there were no shortage of Brits and Aussies telling me how great the Ashes were in places like Dubrovnik and Costa del Sol. The thing was, I didn't really know a hell of a lot about cricket at this point in my life, but I also didn't need to have this nuanced understanding of the sport to enjoy what Jimmy Anderson and Monty Panesar were doing, much to the annoyance of Ricky Ponting, whose facial expressions I still to this day get a great deal of joy out of. The thing about sporting drama is that you don't really need to have a firm grasp of everything happening to appreciate the moments, the situations, a goal line stand in American football, a full count in the bottom of the ninth in baseball, or a penalty shot in hockey, a buzzer beater in basketball, and yes, the moments of tenseness that can only be found in test match cricket. To that end, there is an opportunity for the red ball or occasionally pink ball format of the sport to make inroads stateside. In an odd way, it sort of transcends the collection of players, rules, and venue that are just made up by the sport of cricket. Now, look, I'm not saying it's going to be on some meteoric rise or it'll even rival the growth soccer has seen in America. But the summer sports calendar in America has room for interesting things, even more room now that MLS is out of the picture. And when you have a sport that can involve a national team, something under the banner of America, well, that's just about the only thing that brings this country together in 2025, 2026. Yet the thing is, as it relates to the test format of cricket, all anyone wants to talk about is just how we Americans are too stupid to understand it.
You got into cricket through the 2009 Ashes. I got into cricket through the 2005 Ashes. Okay, we're two American guys who didn't grow up with cricket, and yet what drew us in? Test cricket. This is something that a lot of people in the cricket community don't seem to grasp. They try to shove T20 cricket down everybody's throat saying, oh, Americans don't have the attention span for test cricket.
We're all too stupid. We're all too stupid to understand everything.
Americans are a bunch of Neanderthals. They're Neanderthals who are, there's the contrast, the dichotomy. Neanderthals who are on TikTok. You know, we're all too stupid and too prehistoric brain form wise. But, you know, our brains have advanced to the point where we've got to consume everything in 6-second bites, and we've just got to recycle TikTok videos, and you know, we can't experience the duration of 7 hours of play.
This mindset, though, fails to realize two critical points. Firstly, there is a lot of money sloshing around sports stateside. We're talking lucrative television deals, huge crowds that would pay a premium for tickets. Cricket is desperate to bring in more money and new fans, yet shoo away this potential source of income. The second point is that Americans love big-time, heavyweight sporting events. They love things that are a big deal, even if it isn't something they follow religiously. Look at the Ryder Cup for proof of that. You had 250,000 people turning up, millions more watching on television. These weren't all diehard PGA fans, and I could say live golf fans, but we all know there's no such thing as a live golf fan. The consensus has been test cricket is too long and too complex for us pea-brained Americans, and yet when you really sit down and think about it, it's test cricket that just may be more appealing than the T20 format constantly shoved down our throats.
What was the biggest thing in American sports this past weekend? The Ryder Cup. You know, you had people going out to Bethpage Black for 7, 8, 9, 10 hours a day watching, you know, Team Europe versus Team USA playing golf. You know, take the Masters or any golf tournament. You know, those are, you're on the course if you're at one of those events, 8, 9, 10, 11 hours over the course of a day. If you're watching it on TV and if you're following a specific group, that playing group could be 4 hours or five hours of play to get through a round on a final round, Masters Sunday, whatever. There's an audience for that. somehow those people are not scared away by, oh, geez, this golf tournament starts on a Thursday and it goes until Sunday evening. And man, there's 4 days of this and we got to watch the whole thing. Man, I don't know if I can tolerate that. Well, the Ryder Cup ticket sales say otherwise. The Ryder Cup viewership ratings say otherwise. The Masters ticket sales and viewership ratings say otherwise. So this whole argument of Americans are too stupid for Test cricket, or cricket in general for that matter, and we've got to condense it to 3 hours. There's so much counter evidence to that, and you and me are prime examples of that. The shame of it is, and why is Test cricket so amazing to watch? Because it's unique. When people say, "Oh, Americans need cricket to be 3 hours," and it's just like baseball. You'll love T20 cricket because it's just like baseball. Well, if I wanted to watch something that's just like baseball, guess what?
Baseball.
I'd watch baseball. Yes, there you go. I don't want something just like baseball. The whole point of cricket is to watch something different, unique. I want to watch something that's a standalone sport. And
sometimes
cricket,
I just want to root for, right? It's just like sometimes I just want to have stupid nationalism, but I like it in that because that Test cricket format is like you get the patriotism. Yeah. You get guys in weird costumes running around various grounds. If you're in Australia, there's like an absurd number of mustaches, but you get that. It's just this weird dichotomy of it's such a thinking man's game. There's so much strategy involved. And yet at the same time, it boils down to just that simple patriotism, like America, USA, or again, like, if you're in Australia, it's like, you want to see that win, or India. It's that dichotomy of what makes sports so wonderful, and that you have the strategy and the action, and you get that that simple, oh, here comes Hacksaw Jim Duggan with the flag and a 2x4. Like, this is awesome.
I mean, I've always felt American football fans would be huge Test cricket fans because of the strategic element. If you think about the strategy that goes into an NFL game plan or a college football game plan, I mean, the amount of game, they might practice 150 or 200 plays during a week, and they might only call 50 or 55 during the course of a game. There's all sorts of, pre-snap matchups, and is the quarterback going to audible at the line? Kill. I mean, he's abandoning a passing play for running play. He's seeing something in the defense that he thinks, all right, we're switching to a running play because the defense is spread or too far back on the line, and this is our opportunity to gash them up the middle, or run a sweep run, whatever. The amount of coaching and planning that goes into the chess match of football, and figuring out which plays will counteract what the defense is offering, and what the quarterback goes when he gets to the line, what can he see, and what is he gonna motion a guy, and when he motions a guy, oh, now you can see they're playing zone defense or they're playing man-to-man, and all the other things that you can identify pre-snap and what's going on, and different formations, blah blah blah. Go on all day about this. All that cerebral approach to football, I think, that kind of fan loves Test cricket because there's so much thinking involved in both aspects. Yes, at face value, superficially, one's an extreme contact sport, and the other one's, not a contact sport in the grand scheme of things. It's a bat and ball sport. But from the strategical analytical perspective, I actually think there's great more that NFL shares with Test cricket than makes it dissimilar in a broad sense. And so what I find fascinating when immigrants come to the U.S., they adapt to NFL very quickly. I mean, I can't tell you how many cricket fans I've met from England or from India or whatever, who love college football, who love the NFL. Their favorite sport in America doesn't become baseball. Oh, cricket and baseball are so much alike. They don't gravitate to baseball. They gravitate to the NFL. They love the NFL. And I think part of it is because the strategy they love and they appreciate. And it's not just the physicalness and how NFL is made for television and the way that the sport is structured and presented. I think a lot of it has to do with appreciating the analytical and the cerebral aspect.
Despite the fact Americans may find Test cricket to be appealing, we are not given the opportunity to enjoy or even partake in such an endeavor. Those running the sport just aren't interested. To me, one of the most disheartening conversations surrounding global test cricket, not just American and the potential here for test cricket, but all around the world where the sport could be potentially played, happened in the immediate aftermath of that great test between England and India. The final side of that test, of course, is Chris Wokes with his arm in a sling trying to bat despite having a pretty major shoulder injury. Nasser Hussain spoke passionately about how the large test nations, the ones who could afford to play test cricket on the regular, needed to be stewards of the red ball format. It's not that they needed to support everyone, that it needed to be some sort of welfare state, but they just needed to be stewards of test cricket. Lift everyone up, not just themselves, so moments like that England-India test, or with the Ashes, or when India plays in major tests feel special. A little while after that, days, maybe weeks at the most, Cricket Australia CEO Todd Greenberg came out and just took a steaming hot dump all over that opinion, saying what cricket really needed was less test cricket. Well, not less test cricket, mind you. It needed what he dubbed scarcity. Scarcity meaning, according to him, more matches for Australia and the big countries and less matches for everyone else. Let's not try to lift up others. Let's just kick them out and make this a very exclusive club.
What makes it frustrating is we want to love test cricket, right?
So bad. I just want to love it, and well,
and yet the administrators slap us in the face and spit on us and say, no, the Todd Greenbergs of the world, you can't have this. It's not for you. We need scarcity. We don't want you.
Do the dishes, Cinderella.
Yeah, scrub the floor. I mean, that has always baffled me in cricket. It's one of my great frustrations in being involved in cricket now for 16 years. Is I've never come across a group of administrators who essentially have such disdain for their consumer market and their fan base. And it's, we know what's good for you. You don't know what's good for you. And shut up and, do the dishes. I never understood this mentality of test cricket is so awesome. We know how awesome test cricket is. And it's so awesome that we're only going to let 10 countries play it or 12 countries play. If the NFL, if Roger Goodell said, man, the NFL is so awesome. This sport is so incredible, and it's the highest revenue generating sport anywhere in the world. The Arizona Cardinals, $6 billion, not good enough. We're going to contract the league. We need to go from 32 back down to 24. We'll get rid of the Tennessee Titans and the Carolina Panthers and the Cardinals, and we'll do away with the Chargers. The Rams having to share a stadium with the Chargers, that's not cool. And the Giants, they should be the only ones in MetLife Stadium. The Jets can go. The Jets are gone, and we'll get rid of the Cleveland Browns. They never win. They're only worth $7 billion, and the Cowboys are worth $13 billion now. So we got to focus on the guys who are making us the most money, and we don't want to hold the Cowboys back. So we're going to contract, and the citizens of Cleveland, they'll be okay. That's essentially what the cricket administrator is doing. It's we don't need to grow the game. We don't want USA playing test cricket. We don't want to have the other opportunities, other countries to have opportunities to play test cricket. We'll just, keeping it to Australia and England and India and Pakistan. That's all we need. And we'll just shrink our sport for the people who actually know how to play it the way it was meant to be played.
And we'll play it more, but they'll somehow be less. So there's scarcity there because we've just reduced the number. So I guess that's your scarcity. But again, same number of teams. Although we're still not entirely sure how we're going to play our contracted players either. And someone's going to give us money for the television. And Nepal, you're fun, but you got to go.
Yeah, Nepal beat West Indies. Both you can go. The fact that you've beaten West Indies proves that neither of you belong.
Exactly.
You can both go. It just baffles me. It's always baffled me, the attitude of cricket administrators who take that tack, and it shows globally why the sport hasn't meaningfully grown in the way that other sports do. They can always throw the numbers around of there's 1 billion cricket fans around the world, or 2 billion cricket fans, and it's second most popular sport behind soccer, football, and blah, blah. Well, again, fun with numbers. It's the ICC having fun with numbers. You get to 2 billion by counting 1.2 billion people out of India and a couple other countries. If you look at compared to basketball has much wider reach globally. I would even argue baseball has a much wider reach globally.
The difference between sports like baseball and basketball when compared to cricket is inclusivism. Those sports really want people to participate, to watch, to be a part of the process. Cricket is the exact opposite. That's not entirely fair because grassroots cricket is extremely welcoming. I mean, I remember when I was attending the University of Idaho and I saw some Pakistani exchange students playing cricket and they invited me to play. They just wanted me to learn how the sport worked, and I appreciated that, and I found it to be a very welcoming environment. So yes, grassroots, very welcoming when it comes to cricket, but those running the sport, well, they want to keep everybody out.
To have somebody like Todd Greenberg say what he said, we need less people playing. Scarcity is key for making money, whatever. I think it's sad, but ultimately not surprising, having been around cricket and banging my own head against the wall, thinking over the years that I would write enough articles or be on enough platforms to make people see differently, and that there's a better way to grow the sport and to get more people involved and to have more visibility. And the sad reality is that a lot of people in cricket are, I don't want to say content with the status quo. The status quo for them is not good. Their vision for improving cricket is to shrink it. I mean, when you say people are not content with the status quo, it's usually we're not content with the status quo. We want things to be bigger and better and more people and have wider reach. When you hear people involved in cricket say they're not content with the status quo, that you're not content with the status quo. You want to change things, right? How do you want to change it? Oh, we want to make it smaller. We want to shrink it. We want less people involved. We want to make it more exclusive, keep it amongst ourselves so we can control it. It's all about control. It's all about power. They want it that way so that they have less people to have to manage in terms of being a puppet master and pull strings and whatever else. And that just shows really how sad and pathetic the leadership is for cricket globally. It's not a USA specific issue.
The idea of the United States hosting a test series or flying out for a test series against the likes of India, of England, Pakistan, even a Bangladesh, it's very enticing. And then you have a natural local rivalry with the West Indies, who really needs someone that they can have that's a little closer to them. That being said, there's a lot of logistical stuff to work out. Building a test side really from the ground up, it takes time, it takes patience, you need to invest in it. Early on, America would be massive underdogs, and yet, you know what America loves? Underdogs. Beyond that, there's just something appealing, maybe even a little whimsical about the idea of America having a test series against a major nation where you can go out and watch 5 days of cricket, enjoying summer days outdoors. As much as test cricket doesn't want to admit it, the American crowd would be good for it. I mean, drinking beers, beer snakes, tarps off. Test cricket's kind of right up America's alley if the two sides could ever recognize that. Again, though, it takes investment, it takes time, it takes leadership, all things in short supply in America, and really when it comes to the entire world of cricket at the moment. But I'll be damned if I don't think there is something here. I believe test cricket could work in the United States if ever given a real proper chance. Will it happen? I mean, no, let's be real. No, it's not. I would like it to happen. I think we can see the value in it happening, but at the end of the day, status quo is all cricket really wants. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to see my full interview with Peter, where we go over a wide range of topics related to cricket in America, you can check that out in the video in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. And until next time, I'm Cheyenne Hollis. This is the Touchback, and as always, hashtag take it out to the 25.